in a
Dr.
minute.
Bird, we got to ask you how you doing.
I feel
Being
weird.
that you were
I feel weird all damn day today. I ain't gonna lie.
that's something we looked over, man. November is Men's Health Month. We got away from that from last year, and I think that's a test to the mental health of you right now, witnessing that.
Listen, right now, bro, they be loading up the months. November could be a whole lot. It be mental health month, uh, uh, gay bike riders club month. They just be stacking stuff on that thing, man.
We don't want no part of the second part, but that mental health for Men's Month, we can't overlook that being black men. We need it.
Good evening. It is me, the Horace Towns of the Black Super Friends podcast, serving tonight as the host of this amazing show. Tonight, we got one man down, and he is definitely taking a sick day today. We give our hearts and prayers to one of our comrades, DeMario Salvador Hardy, as he takes the night off. But we hope to have him back in the studio very soon. He is the person on the show that people say he is the voice of logic, and they say that he's wise. They just happen to miss the nights where he pop off. He pop off and give y'all a full clip. But hey, tonight I want to go to the bottom of the screen and highlight my little brother. You will call him Day Day. He has on the Jaws shirt with
Jaws
the
of
blue,
life.
with the blue case. Listen, I don't know what to say because I'm blood, but my brother is just tearing the blue up tonight, boy.
Yeah,
So
man. I'm practicing something new tonight. This month is November. Besides the fact that it's Men's Mental Health Month, it's No Shave November, and I think I'm gonna wolf it out and try to do the 360. I'm gonna be 360 Zay by next month. So y'all pray for me, wish me well. I got a hairline, so I might be able to get some ways to go with it.
well, I want to apologize to all our female viewers. The shirt says Jaws, and we're not talking about the movie.
That flew over their head. They missed that.
Yeah. Right. All right. Next, we're going to my homeboy next to me, who he he had another winning Sunday. I know he feels good when he's winning. Oh, he's in the studio early, ready to give everybody a piece of his mind. My man, Chris Leo of the San Francisco 49ers Nation.
Yes, yes. Thank you guys for showing up tonight. We just Saturday was just Veteran Day, so I want to give a big shout out to everyone that serve our country, that keep us protected, the men, the women out there. Big shout out to my uncle. He's in the armed forces. Big shout out to my cousin Tyree. He's in the armed forces. Well, I have other family members, but all you guys, happy Veterans Day. Post Veterans Day.
Well, I want to give a shout out to my brother Jeremy, who is part of
Oh yeah,
who's part of the Avengers, and we would like to recognize Don Wynn in Africa, who have caught the live show tonight.
Tyler.
Buckle up.
Tyler, happy Veterans Day. Even though this is
Yeah,
your first year, I don't know if we can give you a veteran yet, but thank you for your service.
Is he at
there
a
you
boot
go.
camp? Well, hey, bro. Salute to my son who is in the army. Veterans Day is upon you. All right, listen, we're gonna wing it for a minute because it's sports, and I'm gonna be listen. I think next year I'm gonna get hated of the year. I think I'm gonna get hated of the year next year because the Cowboys, boy, boy, the Cowboy beat the heck out of the Giants like a pinata. And oh my, if you could have seen how the Giant fans were acting last night, I mean, the Cowboys were acting last night, man, I'll just leave that to Mario come back. But hey, Colorado lost another game that they could have won. They've lost 5 or 6 straight. The 49ers win. Did the Dolphins play?
No, we off. See
They
us
were off
next
this
week.
weekend. New England got beat overseas, and the 49ers won. So, give me your take on sports, Chris Leo.
Honestly, I had a really, really bad sports weekend. Really, really bad. Yeah, 49ers won, blase, blase. Florida State won, blase, blase, who cares? But
What?
yeah. I got a Saturday morning, right? I get an early call. I pick up the phone. It's my boy Deacon on the FaceTime. This man say he got tickets to the Florida State and Miami game. And he got me a ticket, but I can't go. I got my daughter that weekend. I just moved into a new spot, so I'm moving stuff in. Dog, I missed a golden opportunity. If it's one college football game that I want to attend on my bucket list, is that game, and I had an opportunity to do that. So that was very, very upsetting. But shout out to Deacon for even considering me.
Hmm.
Also, I was getting a text. I was getting DMs and texts from a previous lady friend of mine. She had tickets to the Jaguar and 49ers game. Now I can't say she bought me one, but it's the same
She offered.
that took me to the Bucks game, and I'm pretty sure she would have had a ticket for me. And she texted me, "Wish you was here and miss y'all." Man, dog, it was a terrible weekend for me. But 49ers won though. Whatever.
Zay, what's your take on sports? I know you a Dolphin fan, but you're not really big on a lot of sports.
Well, I am big on Florida State, and we came through with a nice victory. It was an in-state rivalry, so it was a rougher game than normal. But Chris, I'm right there with you. We should have been at Doak Campbell cheering on our mighty Seminoles. That's all I had. It was a great weekend in football, man. And since I got the week off, since my Dolphins wasn't playing, I just took in a double dose of church. Said, why not? I feel good. My week started off great. You know,
Yes,
Yeah. Well, you know what? I really, since we got live viewers, I really want to put my foot on the gas early. Um, I wanted to just display a video, but when I thought about it, if we display videos related to domestic violence, you get banned, right? They are shadow banning, and we finally starting to trend again. So how do I approach this? Because lately I've been making a lot of simp comments, and we've really been getting good views. And then I want to analyze if something wrong with me because Keke Palmer has been trending since the Usher concert, and then she broke up with the boyfriend, and then something happened, and then they were getting a split, and then I just the most because they keep this in the news, so that's why we're discussing it. And then she released a video of security camera of her getting drugged and attacked in her home by the baby daddy. And then somehow she went to court and got an emergency restraining order in custody of the child, I believe. And to see the comments in support of her, we don't condone domestic violence on this show. We don't condone beating of women. But in my mind, I was like, almost like a defense attorney. When was this video taken? When were they wrestling and fighting? Having some couples do that type of stuff. I didn't watch. I seen still pictures, so I never watched the video. And to see how fast that moved, and just to see some of the comments from the women regarding that situation, I just thought was interesting. I'll probably be back in the share house again for my comments. We don't condone domestic violence. But I just question like how that one sided is. Everything's against the BD, and we don't know them. We don't know them, but we don't analyze Kiki in this scenario. Chris Leo, bail me out, man, because I'm gonna be in the shit house for this one.
I don't know. I might be in that with you too. Uh, this is a very unfortunate situation, to be honest with you. And the only person that's losing is that baby boy, because two grown as adults can't get their shit together to co-parent effectively, and that young man is going to suffer for that. That's just what it is. I'm not surprised that a woman got a restraining order, and said accused them of domestic violence, and that type of woman can't shock me because that's the same woman that got on stage in front of thousands of people and said, my son gave me some ass. I don't need a nigga. All I need is a bag. That sounds like the protocol for a woman that would say something like that, and if she truly meant that. Now, for me personally, I'm not for domestic violence, especially male towards female. I understand that there's male, I mean that female towards male, but I'm not fighting in the street or marching the street for that shit. I am totally against male versus, male to female domestic violence. But because for one, I'm a father of a daughter, so I have skin in the game, and I tell all women the same thing I would tell my daughter: file the police report. File a police report. That starts an investigation. I am not a part of the Believe All Women committee. I'm just not. I'll tell women to file a police report. That it starts an investigation, and that way if you put some skin in the game, meaning if you file a false police report, just like the situation that we got going on with Jonathan Majors right now, you can be arrested. So if you put skin in the game by risking being able to go to jail, I can better trust or believe you or give you the benefit of the doubt. But without that and just going to file the restraining order, I'm not in support of that, because I teach men, if a woman calls the police on you, that relationship is over completely. So I believe that if anytime a man try to have violence towards a woman should call the police and have the police get the police involved. That's just 100% how I feel about that. But I don't know. This is a tough one, because if we're citizens, I can't put my hands on you. Citizen interactions, I can't put my hands on you. But when the interaction is a little bit more intimate, just say like a father and a son, there can be a tussle. There can be some physical contact there. A mother to a daughter, a cousin to a cousin, a sister to a brother, anything like. So, do we not put those same parameters on relationship and dynamics and interactions? Do we count them as just like their citizen interactions, where if I put my hands on you, I go to jail because that's assault? Or do we give the same understanding as a family interaction? Because when you in close proximity with somebody, a lot of times there can be some physical contact. I don't know the extent of it, but again, I'm a believe all facts type of guy, and I can't wait to see what comes out of this, because I'm 100% against domestic violence, male towards female.
I'm going to ask Zay his take because he usually comes in with a different perspective before I ask y'all another question. Because as men, and what I hear with Chris, we are more concerned with the child involved in this case. Zay, what's your insight on what happened, or what's the trending news?
Well, the first thing I'll tell you is, with it being trending news, it's still new. So I'm going to tread lightly on what I'm saying. The first thing that I will say is this: we are against any violence from a male to a female. That's just not tolerated. It doesn't make any sense for whatever the reason may be. Don't do it. In their case, though, man, this has just been getting from bad to worse ever since Usher, like you said, Chris. I don't I have no clue what's going on with them. If she's trying to make an example because she feels humiliated or whatever the case may be, I really think that they do need to consider the child, figure their things out behind closed door, not being so public to put out text messages and videos that we don't know the dates on, like Horace alluded to, or we really don't care about what's going on in their family outside of that child and that she's being abused. The rest of the hoopla that they have going on, they can really keep to themselves. I'll be honest to you. But I really don't have a big take, because, man, we're against men beating on women, and it's too early to know what really happened inside of that story.
Well, first of all, we have not spoke about the real culprit in this, who's breaking up happy homes all around this country. It's you, Usher. Usher, we need to get the coalition of black men to talk to Usher, because Yeah, they going with Usher. You serving up some chaos, my man. Ever since that Usher concert, but things been funky. Yes, Chris.
But if you had to guess, what do you think happened though, dog? I I'm sorry. I'm pro man. Everybody knows I'm pro man. But that's a light skinned dude that's been publicly emasculated probably over and over again. I don't know, dog. He might have
No,
did that. That nigga might have did that shit. I don't know.
no. One, he young dude. We not condoning, but young dude. What I'm saying is, I've seen a lot of comments where women were like, "Oh, a lot of women don't go to the police. They try to stick it out and they go through this." And we're saying, at what point do you think if he hits you once, twice, three times, it's going to get better? You know what I mean? Second thing is a young dude who ain't got no skills. I mean, shit, he feeling like he losing it all. That's when dudes do stupid stuff. I don't know what to do. You embarrassing me. You got more money than I do. And the old attorney trick is when they say, "Oh, you want to get the kid?" Da da da. Oh, say he hit you. Attorneys do tell clients to do that. You know what I mean? So now you automatically the bad guy. Oh, he didn't hit her. You're an abuser. So it ain't matter what he got to say because now you got that label. It's almost like a chess move. And now all the women celebrating her. But at the same time, he put his hands on her for whatever reason, allegedly. But he ain't beating on his child.
Men still got to
Just
control
I
their
saying.
don't know. I don't know
emotions,
if you
man.
can. I don't know if
You
you can
can't
say
do
that one,
that.
Cars. I don't
You
know. Hold
can't.
on.
So
What do you
listen.
mean?
So
Elaborate
you
on that.
saying now he's a danger to the kid as well?
Oh, okay.
Once you show that you can't control your emotion, you're a danger to everybody. That's how they're gonna look at you. My
I
only
think.
thing is with what you're saying is how all of a sudden this been going on. She
Mm.
wasn't saying that. All we heard was my man, my man, my man, up until Usher. Now it's he's been beating me or he has a history of it, and now
I'm
it's
glad,
public. So
I'm glad you said that, Zay. So what happens on the other side of the ball when you do have a situation where a female is we got listen, we know one or two that then put them hands on the dude. You know what I mean?
9 times out of 10, we don't take them to the full extent of the law because we be trying to protect and stuff like that. And we know it's thought less of a man to go to the law and call because a woman hit him. Matter of fact, how
But
do
does
you
it
look
happen
telling your home? It happens all the
a lot?
time. That yes, it does.
Thank you.
I
Absolutely.
don't. I just don't care enough to protest about that. I don't care enough to die on that hill. Or I just don't. What I'm saying is this: if the woman has the courage to file a restraining order, if a woman has the courage to go down there and file for joint custody, then she should have the courage to call the police. We want for your safety. I am totally against domestic violence towards women.
I'm in
Again,
For a
agreement.
woman's safety, for my daughter's safety, for my sister's safety, for my auntie's safety, for every female that I come in contact with, call the police if a man physically harm you. Call the police. Get them involved. You gotta that's what it is. Once you do that, I guarantee you more people take you seriously because you now have skin in the game. You now have skin in the game, and I'm more than willing to give you the benefit of the doubt. But I've seen it, just like I said about the Jonathan Major situation. That situation tore that man's life apart.
yeah.
They have now arrested that woman for what she did that night, and he's still going to trial for it. He's still haven't been. They haven't said that he's going to return as Cain. He is still dealing with that right now. So at this point in time, call the police. We get it all out in the open, and let's clear this
But
out.
I think what you're asking, Chris, is that sounds good, but when they're playing chess and they actually want to, just win the game, they're going to get the paper trail on you, and that's I think what you're seeing. Because other than that, she has all the other chips in place, like Horace said. If she does hit him with that, it's a
Listen,
dumb burrito.
ladies, if you think twice, I'm gonna tell you the last thing a black man, special black man, want to do in this world right now is have a woman call and say that he hit her. Oh man, boy, that is hell. You a domestic abuser. You might not even get out of jail sometime for X amount of days, bro. That is the last thing that anybody wants. But I'm gonna tell you the part three to this, Chris, which was interesting. The interesting part was this is a question tied in. A viewer question was similar to a comment somebody said because they tried to portray it as, "Oh, that what she get for dealing with a dude that brought nothing to the table. He wasn't making no money." So let me ask the viewer a question: Can a man who earns less than his female partner or wife still be the head of household? Will earning less make him jealous or feel inferior to his partner or wife? You know what I mean? Because and then he said, "Can you see as a man discuss domestic violence with your friends?" So
But you can do that piece by piece.
no, because no.
Question
I
for
only said it that way because how women portrayed it on Twitter in the comments. Well, like she
hmm
had no, they was like all of a sudden he a bum. Or she had no business dealing with that bum. She making money. She was too good for him. Yada yada yada. He was jealous of her, and that's why he started beating on her. So I thought that was the interesting part.
Well, for me personally, again, I'm a pro man and I advocate for men. Uh, I think that what we need to do is start treating men ego like we treat women's feelings. We prioritize women's feelings. We in this country we try to do what we can to not hurt women's feelings, or at least be cognizant of it. I think that we need to do that same thing with the male ego. The male ego is fragile, just like the female feelings are fragile. And when they are affected, men tend to lash out violently. Women tend to lash out more character defamation and more insults and things like that verbally. So, not condoning, no, condoning that, but yes, I can understand where a situation like that will cause a man to lash out in those type of ways. I think that, but I also think that that man is created. I don't think I think that a man like that, if a woman decides to get with a man like that, emasculation is not shouldn't be should be off the menu in any kind of way. Because if you want that man to lead, if you, we are fueled off of appreciation, we are fueled off of understanding, we are fueled off of beliefs. So if you decide to get a man in a lower social economic status than you are, then you must prioritize his ego just in the same way that you want him to prioritize your feelings, not giving any excuse for your a damaged ego causing violence towards a woman, especially domestically. But that's just how I feel about that situation in a overall setting.
Yeah, no, I agree with Vanessa. We just had a murder the other day where the lady went to the police report. I mean, to the police department, filed a report, and the dude gunned her down like 40 minutes later. We have had some situations like that. I don't know if anybody has the answer because police are overwhelmed with those type of cases. But I think we do need tougher laws regarding domestic violence. But then the police trying to filter out what's real and
What's
what's
real?
not because you have a woman that say he hit me da 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 da, and then when they pursue the guy, she don't participate, and then the
That's
case
why.
You
falls
just gotta
apart.
vet better, bro. I mean, that's you gotta vet better. Obviously, you don't know who's crazy, but once they start to get you the hand of crazy, you can't tough that out. You got to get from around there.
That
But
happens
I
a
don't
lot.
know. Rest in peace to that young lady. That's neither here nor there. But she did lose her life, so that just sucks. It's a very unfortunate situation, as you said. Um, just to
Happens
kind of
every day,
speak,
every hour.
yeah, and it's sad.
But if we stick, all I'm saying is if we stick to what I'm saying, anytime there's physical attacks on a woman should call the police.
And
Anytime a
document it.
woman call the police on you, you never go back to that woman ever again. That I feel like it works out that way. Call the police if a man attacks you. If a woman calls the police on you, never go to that woman again. End that relationship completely.
Chris, I'm gonna ask you a question. So part two of this: if you got into a physical altercation with your partner or wife, do you feel comfortable discussing what happened with your friends, close friends,
Well,
and do
hold on
you
a second.
feel,
Hold on. You're moving too fast. You part two, and we didn't finish out part one, my brother.
bro? We've been part one. Are you gonna serve as host
You,
and
you,
producer
you.
tonight?
I definitely don't, but you didn't. So you skipped over me, then, my brother. Well,
You just talked a minute.
she asked a question about if the guy can be head of household still, and absolutely he can. That's a very simple question. That was the first question that she asked. She asked about if the monetary gains of the woman would make him feel inferior because she made more. It's only going to make him feel inferior if that woman makes that a problem. So, as Chris said, catering to his ego, you shouldn't be running around beating on your chest if you are in a relationship with a quote unquote man that you love and saying that, you're running around having a penis measuring contest, for lack of better words. Like, that's what you brought to the table, that's what you have for the family. It is what it is. Y'all put it together. It should be one if y'all in that type of relationship. But I don't think that it's very hard. I just think that you got to put pride and ego aside, regardless of who brings in the big check, if you
All
want
right.
to do it the right way. But that's just me. My bad. Carry on to the second part.
All right, time out. Mia, if your guy at the bottom paid attention and, followed, the show would blend a little more. Yes, Chris Leo.
Well,
No.
you kind of started talking about
Hey, wait a
something else,
minute.
though, my guy.
Chris Leo. And Mia, you know I don't like you. But you held up a picture the other day, boy. You seen the
What,
little
dog? That's what I was about to say, dog. I did not know.
dump
I
truck
did
Mia.
not know, dog. Mia thicker than a bitch, dog.
Yeah,
I'm like,
dump truck.
where did this come from? And
It's
then
always
she
the
got,
one
Not
who
like
she
a
don't
got the
wild
little
pack of
mouth
hyena dogs,
where it looked
man.
like she been sucking her thumb when she was young.
Yeah.
Dog.
Mia's a fine young
That's an
lady.
oral fixation. You always go after them women all the time.
It's always a girl like me you don't like that be dump truck.
What? I'm talking about. I'm
Seen
like, come on now.
I seen her too. I seen her. Boy, I said, look at Mia.
Y'all
God,
crazy.
you
And y'all wonder why y'all live in Nevada, Arizona. Y'all crazy, man.
man, Mia had that thing in the back. I said, Mia needs CDLs, boy.
What's going on back
You're
there?
hauling ass.
What?
Yeah, Mia. Stop playing with me. Hey, listen. So can I go
They
to the
need
other
help.
part, Zay? Can we go there?
Please go
Thank
to the second part.
Chris. No, I'm gonna go to Papa Smurf at the bottom. If you get into a physical altercation with your partner, wife, Zay, with your partner, Zay, do you feel comfortable discussing what happened with your friends? And do you feel that they will give you an open, honest opinion on the situation? All right. Do you believe that two sides should be discussed?
Of course and absolutely. I don't foresee myself ever getting into a physical altercation. However, I don't foresee the future. But yeah, why wouldn't you? You would share that. Now, at the end of the day, again, like I said when I began, I'm not getting into one of those physical altercations. You can already have it. I'm a different kind of guy. But what's wrong with your face?
I'm listening, Zay. Go ahead. I
I
give
don't
you
think y'all think you're being rude, but it's okay. I would
the.
definitely share, but I'm not getting into no physical altercation.
I'm not at all. Mario said so. It was crazy, dog. I did not
Yeah,
feel.
you and your verbiage. My boy at home with the pause button for you. You out of hand.
Hey. All right, Chris. We were rudely interrupted by Zay tonight, and his
Y'all
shenanigans.
interrupted me. What the hell?
Chris, you get into a domestic, man. You don't get it for some reason. Something just happened. Y'all get into it. Are you gonna tell the Black Super Friends? And would you feel comfortable discussing something in your relationship that happened, like that with your close friends?
No. I think if I did tell you, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I would be comfortable telling you something like that happened to me. Happened to my situation. I think most of the time if I had a lady, she would know y'all and she would probably call y'all and tell y'all, what's going on. Even before it got to that, I would trust that my lady would say, hey, y'all need to talk to your homeboy, tell him to calm down. And then my homeboys would call me and tell me to calm down because I think that sometimes it take that. But no, I don't know if I would be comfortable enough to tell you that I physically harm my wife. If it got out, I think that y'all should check me on it. But yeah, I think with most situations, we'll tell a story where we come out don't look like the aggressor, or we look like more of the good guy. And I mean that's normal. A lot of us do that because we're ashamed of what we probably did. So again, I don't foresee myself doing anything like that, but I would hope that because this is my lady, she has a relationship with y'all, and before it get like that, she would give y'all a call and tell y'all to check your boy. You know what I'm saying?
But why would your lady tell us before you though?
Was there?
Why
Like
would your lady
what
tell us before you?
what I just said the whole time. I think most people. Well, I speak for myself. I would be ashamed that I would bring something like that to my homeboys. I would be ashamed of what I'd done. I would be ashamed that it got out. I'd be ashamed about the whole situation. Then for me, as far as relationship wise, I'm a private guy, so I wouldn't want it to be out. So yeah, I think I don't know if it's normal, but I think I would be one of those guys that would be hard to tell y'all what I did, especially if I was definitely in the wrong. So I would hope
I
I
understand
have
that now.
safeguards that would stop me from that.
I
We
don't.
brothers, dog.
Listen, there ain't a lot of charges I'm scared of, but that domestic one is one that I'm scared of because back in the day, the cops were gonna beat your ass. You go to jail, dudes gonna find out what you're in there, they're gonna swing on you. The court's gonna kill you. And I know dudes that had a situation. I know a guy who was not even violent and got into a situation, and he said he lost it. So, dude, everybody make mistakes, but um, I found out through his sister, because they took him to jail and all of that stuff. So I don't know. It's too, even though you can be close, I think that's something dudes will probably hold because they're gonna feel like they failed themselves, having a bad character moment. We don't condone it, but I just know it does happen time to time. Zeta Barber.
You do know that y'all human and y'all make mistakes, right? I don't know, Chris. As my brother, I would like to hear it from you. I wouldn't want to hear it from your lady. Because if you made a mistake, my brother, iron sharpens iron. You know what I'm saying? You talk to us, we might can't fix it, but we could definitely give you some words of encouragement on how to not do that. So I just don't agree with that. But like I said, even with you, Horace, I don't even foresee you in a situation like that. But we don't know, because we are human, what can happen. But gotta learn how to
If
control
you,
the emotions on
You
that,
can't
man.
say that. I had
if
a
you,
situation with with Ken's mom, and but you got to know how people are raised. So some people we know seeing their mom and dad fight, and others, so
Which is
they not
fine.
even knowing subconsciously will adopt that, right? And they think that's what a relationship is. So when they get a peaceful dude, they can't handle it because they used to chaos. Said all that to say, I remember when me and Mo was staying together one day. I don't even know what she was mad about, but I seen her closing the windows down, and she was like, I said, "What you doing?" She's like, "I'm about to close the windows for the neighbors can't hear us." I said, "No, you ain't got the word." Well, I shot up out of that house. You know what I mean? Like, so I know there's scenarios where stuff happen. Like, I'm not about to be in here tussling with you. So we just
But
pray for.
even inside of that situation, like you said, you talked to us about that. You know what I'm saying? And said what happened, and we kind of gave your input. We didn't wait for Mo to tell us a thing. So I think you should
that's
share that.
cool. That's cool and all, but at the same time, like if I was to do something like that, I wouldn't want encouraging words. Y'all got to straighten me. I'm about to fuck up. I'm about to do something. I done done something wrong. This
Yeah.
ain't the time for encouraging words. This is the time
That's
for kicking
definitely the time
ass.
for the encouraging word, though. Because why would I let you wreck out? You just said in the conversation we just had before, you're gonna have to think about the child. And I'm just thinking in real time, you wrecking out does
So let
nothing
me get this
for
straight, Jay.
cupcakes.
I'm arguing with my woman to the point where I'm it might get physical. And I'm finna stop and give you a call.
No, not at
It
all.
wouldn't be
That
a
ain't what
normal
I
thing
don't
for
think
her
that's
to
what the
take a
question
break
said.
and call you.
I don't
That
think
wouldn't
that's
be a
what the
normal
question
event.
said. You're being facetious now. If you got into it and that happened afterwards, I think that you would call your homeboys and be like, "Dog, I might have effed up. I did X, Y, and Z is in the tense in which I'm speaking. Who gonna stop in the middle and do that? That don't even make any sense,
But
Chris.
that's
Why
the
would we
whole
do that?
point. That's the whole point I'm saying. You said you're questioning why my lady got to call me. We're in an argument, Zay. She's probably going to call while we're in an argument. I wouldn't stop to call you. That's probably how it normally happens.
Why y'all pause?
I'm
No,
I'm trying to see what area I'm
no,
saying is
I don't.
wrong.
I'm just saying I don't know too
Oh,
many people
Like
that
I'm
stopping in
trying
the
to see
middle
what the flaw is. What I'm
of
saying.
their argument to do so. I'm actually speaking that after the offense have occurred. So maybe you missed me in what I was saying, but like after the offense occurred and you realize, dang, I done effed up, whatever the case may be, are you not sharing that with your homeboy to figure out how you rectified or how you fixed that, or you just holding that in because now you're ashamed of what you did? That was what I was getting from what you were saying, not stopping in the middle of the actual argument or assault, whatever the case may be.
Well, the only part I was talking about is when you said, "Why did she have to tell me when you should have came to me told me?" The only reason why I said that is because she would be the one to call you and tell you, "Hey, Chris might be tripping over here. You need to talk to him." That she
You see,
has
you
to
talking
tell
about
you. I
mid.
would
I
get to.
got you. I got you. Now you talking about as it's going on.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
makes sense. I was talking about afterwards. My bad.
Okay.
Jay, check your mic audio. Y'all, everybody, y'all mics might be a little high. All right,
Sorry about
Chris,
that.
I'm telling you, this might be my second week as being Ace Metaphor. I want the ladies to really enjoy this. As they say, from our brother. All right, well, y'all about to crucify me. I want to play a clip. I want to play a clip this week that trended really well. And young Jeezy, the rap phenomenon from Atlanta known as the Snowman, sat down for a candid interview with Nia Long, actress, and he shared some insight on his private life. And I want to discuss that because everyone, especially women, applauded that conversation. But I feel like women, I got to put y'all on trial. I love y'all, but I feel like y'all are selective on who y'all are outraged with and who y'all hold accountable. So if I want to play that clip, just a small clip to get everybody involved in this
You know,
conversation.
some chick that's willing to like make you feel like a king, because
Right.
that's why most men cheat
But
because the
that's fascinating to me.
it's so gross, it's so stupid.
I personally, this is my quote, and real
Yeah.
niggas don't cheat.
You don't think so?
Hell no.
I kind of understand
They
what you
do
mean
not.
when you say that.
They do not.
I understand what you mean when you
It's
say that.
something in us
Yeah.
that makes us want to be right
Yes.
across the board.
But is that so that you are living up to the expectation that you've set for yourself?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just gonna mute you for a second. Listen, um, that video trended and everybody loved Jeezy. Mario, I told you to say that before the interview. The most amazing part about that interview, when he said that, most people was back home giggling, like, yeah, boy, I see Jesus going hard after Nia. Oh, that's so fascinating. Uh, Real men don't cheat. I was like, bro, you got that right, Jesus. I like that. But then I seen the women loving the interview. So let me be the old horse. People love that interview with Jeezy. And they say, oh, how it was amazing. But I just posed a question. If that was Ray J and Nia Long, if that was Chris Leo and Nia Long, if that was, give me somebody hypothetical, Yo Gotti and Nia Long, I wonder would that video get the same reviews. And the only reason I said that is this. Women are selective in who they are mad at. So Jeezy sat on for an interview. It was nice. I like Snowman. You know, he's somebody we always hype up and say, hey, he's the real one, right? But he highlighted a problem for me, and I could identify with it because I'm a divorcee. Nobody said anything that Jeezy in reality is a man who asked a woman to marry him, had a child with this woman, and then less than a year and a half said, I can't do it. I'm out. And women said on this interview, and I've seen the comments from around the world. Women were just like, oh my God, yes, Jeezy. Oh man. And I was at home like, Jeezy, you full of shit.
Mhm.
I like you. Let's be accountable. I've been there. Because a lot of men do this. Jeezy did this right here. You've been at home, you by yourself, you like the peace. It's like the fortress of solitude. If you want to get up at 1 a.m, go get some wings, you can. You do what you want. But then you factor in this now, because we don't have a one, a lot of men don't really be monogamous until they get married. That's a struggle. Two, single people of both sides. When you've been single for a long time, it takes a lot for somebody to come into your space. They'll tell you that marriage takes 3 years for y'all to really mesh because you got somebody in your space all day long, all day. So yeah, I had a problem when this brother say it didn't work. Did you really try? Chris Ball, man, Chris gave me, but Chris was on my case last year when we talked about relationships. Why ain't nobody on Jesus' ass about the same thing? Because it's stereotypically now you got a black man with a with a baby Asian baby mama and a little child that's just starting to walk and ain't no relationship. If Future did that, would the situation be different? So I'm just saying, Jeezy, being a man that was a divorcee, I'm just saying that, bro, I think as black men, as men, we have to really understand what marriage is before we enter it. Because you asked that woman to marry you, you shot that club up, and then when you say you didn't get the same results as Jay Z or whatever on the level up, you pull out, and then you do an interview with Neil Long, and then in the song you say, "When I see a Neil Long, I'm trying to get that." Well, you did that. Trap or die. That's my editorial, Chris. I'm sorry, but it was messing me up. I seen all the reviews. I'm like, bro, y'all just gonna give Jeezy a pass? Maybe I'm hating on it, but yeah, that's my rant, Chris Leo.
Yeah,
This
you
is it.
said it.
Smell a little hatish.
Hater like this, fuck my wrist in. He got a
Hater like
verse for that one. Don't do
but
it.
dog, that's what brings me back to my point, dog. You need to only date, entertain, converse with women that like you. They if you do that, your jokes hit harder. You just the most funnier guy. You whatever you say, she can understand. You seen that Neil Long like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. You only entertain women that like you. The conversation is easier. It's not combative. You don't. It was times in that interview where he had to he had to critique women, black women in particular, and she it wasn't, well, black men do this. She just understood. She took it. So she was giving, Neil Long was giving first night vibes, like home date first night vibes to me.
Yeah,
That's what I see. And that's the type of energy you want when you entertaining women, when you interacting with women. That's how it feels. They like what you're saying. They understand. They try to see what you're coming from. So I don't hate on them at all. And yes, me and Jeezy may not. I say it like this: me and Jeezy may not see things the same way on certain things in that interview, but they're so minuscule that I don't want to disagree with them. I think that we need to have a united front. We don't need to be divisive on this, because at the end of the day, he was saying some good stuff. A lot of that shit was good stuff. We just got to understand that we have to start dealing with women that really like us, and they'll understand what you're saying. But for the women that likes Jeezy, I think that you got to take the things in perspective. You're talking to a 46-year-old man. That's when he started to think like, that's when we start to think more like that, when we're at that age. So be prepared to date older. This is a former drug dealing, rapping, um, what's it called, famous rapper. Do you know how many women he's been had in his life? He's came to that type of man. You got to have that type of man to get that type of perspective. A lot of times, he has to go through all of that. He has to see all those things. And if you're specifically a black woman, I don't know. He didn't pick you to particularly marry, so that might be something that you want to look into if you are enamored by what you've seen Jeezy said. But again, I don't want to be nitpicky and say, well, I don't like that he said just this. And if that's how you feel, the real niggas don't cheat. Okay, I the people that I have heard, the men that I've heard say I don't cheat, the only ones that I publicly say that they don't cheat, I can honestly say they fit the real nigga model in my mind. The ones that really about that and say that. I don't know. Have you ever seen a flawed dude, a non-solid dude that promotes this? I haven't. You tell me.
Well, I want to highlight two comments, right? And this is going to help my case tonight because the hate is not on Jeezy. It's me trying to highlight the women. When y'all see something you like, you're going to look over everything, right? You're going to look over stuff that's right in your face. So Vanessa's comment was, it is known that all the men you named are cheating and or have cheated, so they will not get that same love. See, who how you know Jeezy ain't cheat? We don't know that story, but because y'all have fantasies for Jeezy, it's different. Mia said Future is a trash bag. Don't do that. Future hasn't cheated. Future is never single. I'm not a Future. Listen, Future got women
Future
on top
always
of
single to
women,
me.
but Future ain't cheat because he don't have an old lady. So how does he cheat? You know what I'm saying? So in Africa says Jesus pander. Now I do understand the marketing, and it's brilliant. That's a level. He just introduced himself to another level. You know, that emotional talk from a trapper, you might see this boy on MSNBC or something like that, Good Morning America or whatever. So
He definitely
I
going.
get it. Huh?
He definitely going now.
Yeah, yeah,
He
man.
going
So
now.
yeah, Future don't cheat. Future ain't single.
Yeah.
Hell.
No, Future is single, man. What do you mean? Future is single. He is not married. That's why he's not cheating. But I don't know, man. You can't take away, man. That's Big Snow, man.
That's big stuff.
Jeezy, one of the most charismatic dudes ever. You got to understand. And that video, though, I hate to tell you, Horace, it's clickbait. Because if you watch that entire interview, that interview was well crafted. But that gave Jeezy a platform. So what Africa said is very, very true. I do feel like he was pandering. What you said, Horace, you said the women gave him a pass. That's because they gave him hell in the beginning. You forgot he did not marry a black woman. It was an Asian woman,
Thank
and
you,
black
man.
women gave him hell. So I think that was his come to Jesus meeting when he got a chance to sit down in front of Nia and display his affection for the black women that are supporting him now at this time. He's not a fool. So you can get mad with that all you want, but hey, man, Jesus masterfully and crafted that interview. It was a great interview. He touched on some real points, and I think some of the things that he talked about should be more the focal point. Forget Nia, we love Nia. She had a rough time. She got a chance to get vulnerable with that, but he talked on some really, really good points that I think that we really should hone in on. And I break it down. So some of the 5 keywords that he talked about in there was the forgive. They gave you the definition for it. The fear. A lot of people face, not just men alone, but because it's November and it's men mental health, I'm gonna hone in on that. Men run away from those things, don't have those said conversations. He was man enough to do that. And he was man enough to make his proclamation. Whether you believe it or you think that it's true or not, he made it. And you don't have any evidence to refute it. So I gotta say that he's telling the truth. Like if you tell me something, if Chris tell me something, if somebody, Demario who's not here tell me something, I'm gonna believe y'all because y'all my homeboy, especially when there's not any evidence to refute what you're saying. I'm just saying, but call me whatever. Now, when you go back, he's saying to forget. And those are words that you guys got to look the definition of so that you can apply them to your own life. Just kind of look. I like the way how he displayed it because I'm one of those people where I'll bare my soul. I'll share with you what's going on with me in hopes that you see the error in my way and don't make the same ones. I feel like that's what Jesus did. So what you said, you felt like he didn't stand on business. All of us sat here on this podium and say that if we ever get married, we trying to stay in there to the bus out. We don't ever want to do that. I think it's very hard for a man to fall on the sword and to file for a divorce. Most of the time it's women. So it's something in there. But I'm right with you and I'm gonna have to agree, Horace. If you can file for divorce that fast, maybe you should have did a little bit more soul searching prior to saying I do. We gotta covet that as men because that's the power that we have. Once you realize it, you are the one who has to say I do. You're the one who has to ask. Don't be the one that has to ask for the divorce. That's all I'm saying. So that comes by, hey, you were a stand-up guy. You said that you did not cheat. That's great. So the divorce not on you as far as that, but then what else? Like Horace said, could you have done better to make sure that lasts? Because at the end of what I'm gonna say is this, Chris, is what you always say: there is a child,
Dog.
Where were
and that
all wait a
child
minute,
is
Chris? Where were all the women? I didn't hear no women say, "Geez, go back and work it out. Hey, give it one more shot."
that's
X, Y,
because they want him.
Z. I
He's a
also
hot
said to
commodity, Horace.
highlight this: most men do not really super duper understand what marriage is. It's a lot
Big
that
fact.
comes with being a husband. That nigga say, I'm out. Shit, this is what it's about. I'm out. I ain't seen no women tell him to go back because in their mind they think, oh, Jesus single again.
They next. He set the bridge properly. He said that boy been listening to Steve Harvey. I'm gonna get married again and again and again until I get it right. But you can't hate him for how he delivered his message and how he spoke on his piece. That's Snowman. I'm just saying.
Zay, is it just me? Is it just me, Zay, or is Horace sounding real pottish, calling kettle blackish tonight?
Divorcee-ish?
I'm just saying.
Wait a minute. If you no, you're not gonna do that to me.
But besides the baby, that's you.
And besides the baby, that's you.
Give me evidence to refute what we say.
Listen, Zay, you shut the hell up. If Horace at the beginning of this said, I can understand because I've been there and I relate. Yes, I'm telling you, you can talk that, bro. When it comes to marriage, there's so much that comes with being a husband. Just like Chris say, being a big brother or a father's a second job. Boy, we don't have an idea when you get under that marriage umbrella, boy, it's on your back. You think you carrying some stuff, but it gets a little more. And I'm saying,
still had baggage prior to.
Bro, I'm talking. A lot of relationships will come with a lot more responsibility, and I ain't just talking about paying bills. Emotional impact, there's a lot that come with it. So I was highlighting that, and I put myself on the cross, Chris, and say, yeah, bro, you get married, it's so much that we don't even talk. So imagine being a man that grew up without a dad, or a lot of, you ain't got nobody telling you like, bro, this is what comes with marriage. Mario introduced that conversation.
Well, tell us, because we don't know what drives you. What drives you over the ledge? What makes you say I'm done? Especially for a man, because we can't have this conversation with Jesus, but we can have this conversation with you. What was it? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? What makes you go do that? Make that decision.
Listen, I ain't for two Negroes who ain't married, I can't give y'all too much information.
But we're looking for insight, because you should be sharper than us, because you should want to see your brothers married. So we want to know the pitfalls and what not to do. That's all. That's why we're asking.
You're going to set yourself up. I'll tell you.
That's fine.
That's all now. Listen, a lot of Negroes want to get in relationships because of responsibility. We just said last week, I can go out to dinner and grab me some dinner tonight, and at the most it's going to cost $15, $16. But when you got a wife, that dinner just went up to $45, $50, maybe even $60. So imagine, please don't do that, Chris.
I disagree, but I'm going to wait for you to finish.
You ain't, bro, listen, you ain't buying dinner like I'm buying. So when it comes to relationships, now you got a girlfriend. If you really want to be that dude, you ain't driving that car. You ain't doing her car breakdown. Her brakes going out. Zay, you going to fix her brakes?
Every time.
Nigga, please.
Without a shadow of a doubt, too.
Hey, bro,
without a shadow of a doubt. See, that's why I say I cannot agree with you. Because you said that guys won't get into relationships because of responsibility. Maybe they future. Maybe they said it ain't time yet. You feel me? I'm showing my royal oaths. You never ever know. But I know this. Most men, especially in today's day, because we always talk about most of the guys nowadays, they game is in their pocket. So they paying for any and everything anyway. It's the reason why a lot of the women are off the leash and telling you what you need to do and what you're not finna do with them, because of how freely the funds are flowing.
Right.
But if you're in a relationship and you're dealing with a woman and she has certain issues, as a man, bro, you're gonna kind of take care of those things.
Right, let me pause you for a minute. Have you ever
doing it?
Shit with a girl and prayed with her?
Say do who?
Have you ever had a relationship where you went to church with a girl, prayed with her?
Of course I did.
Zay, have you ever been in a situation where you paid anybody rent that you wasn't staying with?
I did. That's silly too. That just doesn't make sense. But go on, continue.
Listen, so I will keep going. So you're dating a woman who has some issues, maybe even mentally. She might have some trauma. Did you stick with her?
Most everybody
though. And dealing with it.
That's most everybody too.
No, listen, we get on this show every goddamn week and have real dialogue.
I'm just saying.
I'm not playing with you tonight, Zay. Chris, Leo, interview me. You got some more questions?
Any of these things that he's asking, have I not done?
I've I've heard receipts of his baby mama situation. I heard he that's I'm
That
just
was
saying.
that was everything that he just asked you about, and plus
I
kids,
don't
cars,
listen.
all
I'm not
type
gonna
of
do no
things.
live
Like
tweets with you.
those are just things you're gonna do. I don't think that's
I ain't doing it with you, Chris
but
Leo.
that
So what
might
I'm
be it,
saying
Chris.
is,
Don't get him married to
just
do
like
that.
you have a mortgage, bro. There's a lot of responsibility that comes with being a husband, where it's either providing. Imagine staying under some a roof with somebody. Y'all have a direction. Y'all have an idea of what y'all want to do as far as future goals. Say you work every day, you pay all the bills in this house, and you got a woman that's, you know, her spending don't reflect how you think. We're
I,
keeping you, and it might be making decisions that's costing you. Now you got to work harder. Your pressure up. You know what I mean? Now you're thinking like, man, do she even care about me? Type scenario. You might have a situation where you don't like the way she parents. So I'm saying in my situation, I had decisions to make for me, and at the time, I thought about me only. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I
that's what a
think that
grown man. That's what a grown man. At that point of who I was then, because who I am now, I might have handled some things differently because I see things different. But then, how I saw things was a little different from how I see things now. And
what
you
we're
got to be in
asking
a
this.
position to prepare. You got to be in a position where you want to handle things. So when you get under that roof
Watch what
where
I'm
you
saying.
saying
Hold
you
on.
with a female, you are really taking on that. I'm taking on all the responsibility. I'm going to take care of her 100%. A lot of people be
Hear
in
what we
relationship
saying. Hear what
with
we saying. Hear
me.
what we saying. Don't
Can
not to
I
defend
goddamn
yourself.
finish
What we're
my conversation? It's a relationship
saying
where
is
you're
we're
being
going in a
here.
direction.
Goddamn, Zay, can I talk?
Brother.
It's a relationship where you're right here, and you had two people in a relationship per se, but they not working together. Zay, please, you have all the answers tonight. Let me hear
I
this.
don't have all the answers, but I was gonna say we don't got you on trial. What I'm saying to you is some of the things that you're talking about is some of the caveats that people speak of going into a relationship, right? That they think that it's all about. But I wanted to hone in more so on some of the things that you were talking about that's not spoke on, because that's where a guy like myself, where Chris will need the help. Some of those unsaid things, like you talked about, the rearing of the kids, the finances, how they spend. Those are some of the real issues that are inside of marriage or inside of relationships that really, really matter. Not fixing a car. Joker gonna do that. Going to eat, they're gonna do that too. So we got to start talking about those things as if those are the big ticket items. They're not. Religion, how these kids are gonna be raised, what you think is important as far as how we gonna spend money or what we gonna invest into. Like you said, praying and religion, all of those things that guys don't even think about. Cause we just thinking about she got a fat ass, she got a pretty face, you feel me, and she got a job, or I could take care of her, or whatever the case that we're thinking marriage is. I think that's what Jeezy ran into, where he got there. I got this pretty chick, all this other good stuff. However, views are way different from mine, and I came with baggage and trauma from my own parent that I hadn't really resolved, because that's what it sounded like inside of that interview, that him resolving his issues and things either happened right before that wedding, which probably prompted him to get married, or he finished it up inside of that year and then found out who he really is and what he can't stand, and then that caused him to get rid of her within that year's time frame. Is why I said what I'm saying to you. If you can hit on that with us, with some of the people that's probably listening, that'll help them avoid some pitfalls when they decide to get married, take on a woman seriously, or something to that effect. My bad, bro. That's what I was trying to get
Well,
to
you
with
just
that.
said the same thing I said in a whole different direction. We assume it's all fantasy. I like her, she like me. We're strong. We got an apartment together. But when you start actually getting serious, there's so much that comes with it. Chris is a serious has a serious relationship with his daughter. Him getting close with somebody now, he has to evaluate. Like he ain't just, I think she like, I need to watch her decision making. Once she's gonna be around my daughter, I gotta see how if I possibly got her pregnant, how would she act as a mother? Like it's so much that comes, and a lot of people don't. You just assume that that person's a decent person, and then when you actually get in there, you be like, man, this ain't it. So that was my insight, Chris.
I mean, I get what you're saying. I think that the part that you put, I think the part that you highlight is somewhat cap as far as talking to your perspective. The whole extra meal, extra price of meal, that's you. You do things like that. You you your purpose is to take care of somebody, especially a woman. You dying right now to take care, to be able to have the responsibility to take care of a woman. That's what you want. That's how you all. That's pretty much how you always been. So that part right there, I think that's just something that comes natural to you, and a lot of us is like that. And I think that most men purpose is that the whole purpose is to find one, create this family, and have something that you have to take care of. Putting that pressure, putting that burden on you is somewhat a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Because I guarantee you, a man without a family at 20 years older than you would tell you that ain't nothing better, ain't nothing more fulfilling than having that type of responsibility. But I get what you're saying, and I think there's a lot of time for people that don't want that. It makes them run away. But I think the most of us, dog, that's our whole purpose is to have, like Demario said, be a CEO of some kind of family, be in control of something going on, and the fruits of your labor is you can see it. I think that's what we all want to do. I hope so.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, that's what I'm saying. Like there's a lot, and it ain't no where I can pick and choose when I do it. No, it's something that requires me every day to show up as the husband, as the father, as the man of the house. Because the minute I don't, shit, then you see what kind of woman you get. You know what I'm saying? Like we
Oh yeah.
had Joe Smith wife, but then you're gonna see because now she got to stand up and say, "I got to do what's best." And you do see people. Listen, I hate to say it, you do see people like, bro, I couldn't do it. They
Their true
folded.
side.
They
Their
folded.
true side emerged.
They
Yeah, but
folded, man.
I say, like I say, that yeah, they probably did, but for you personally, I think that's something that you long to do. I think that's what you're good at. Taking care of people, and being hospitable. That's like your superpower. You know what I'm saying? So in personally talking about you, I don't think that's an issue at all. To be honest with
Mm. Yeah, well, my issue with, like I say, we do create conversations on this just to get somebody to uh think about it from our perspective. My issue was when I seen the Jesus interview, like I say, it got me kind of because I'm like, yeah, part of it was funny, but part of it was like I'm reading the comments, and then I had these debates with certain females on the damn social media, and bro, it do trigger me sometimes. I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, that was
you,
me in that scenario.
because I think Zay had to check me on this last show. We believe the things that come out of women's mouth instead of
First.
just following what they do. And I appreciate that check last show. Just to remind you, what you doing? You believe what women do, not what women say. Believe what they do. You know what I'm
You
saying?
preach
So
it, brother.
I
You
think
can't you can't stay away
that's
from
just
your
what it
preaching.
is.
You preach it and then the one fell swoop you fell. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. All good
Okay.
though.
Well, listen, Snowman, I apologize for bringing you into my debate in which I tried to open up the female persuasion to see the error of their ways. It failed because they love you so much. And by this time, I'm thinking you already got Nia because she was wide open.
The only thing is I say is this. Jesus just has a wider audience. You also have an audience. All you got to do is play to your audience.
Strength.
That goes for every
Amen.
fella out here. Jesus' audience is way bigger than yours. But you have an audience of women that will sit there just like Neil Long. Oh, I get that. I get that. Make sure you preaching and singing to your audience, fellas. That's all I'm saying. It's so much easier.
Gotta
That's
play to
good
your
advice.
strengths, bro.
If y'all get a chance, go over to the Black Super Friends Instagram page where I set a fire last night. And because of their hatred for Future, I don't even
Right.
know if it mattered what the comment was, but Future discussed one of the number one sins in the Black community
Oh,
is about after a breakup letting his new man be around your child. And boy, if you seen the comments on that page,
I think it's
boy,
cap.
they were heated.
I think it's
Yeah.
cap, dog. I think it's cap, dog. We celebrate women. We celebrate women that says, "I don't have no man. I ain't never had no man on around my child." We celebrate older women that say, "Well, when my husband died or whatever, I never brought another man in the house." We celebrate them women. So to say that this is not in our culture, in our community, I think it's false. It is prevalent in our community because we celebrate women that say, I don't bring my child, dudes around my child all the time now. So I think that's cap. I think that's cap. And yes, that man wasn't. I don't know if I don't think they was married at that time. And no, he shouldn't
They
have
were not.
pushing that stroller. No.
Oh boy, you about to start another one with that one, Chris. Because
What?
listen, it was oblivious because you had women. Oh, you were never. I had dudes. Oh, you were never a father, future, and all. I was like, man, y'all.
That's not. You can't punish. You can't be the judge, jury. No, we have code. You don't. You just don't do it. And what we want to do is we want to have a system where because the relationship don't work, women can punish a man as a father. No, you stick to code, man. Just like for the same thing, and it's the same thing on the other side, bro. You can't be having your new lady holding your little child. Like, dog, no. Let's
But
keep a little decorum about this.
It's funny you say that, Zay.
you gotta understand, bro.
Wait a minute, Zay. It's a
Go
video
ahead.
of a dude doing that, and the baby mama showed up and tore that apartment up. It was on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Always say, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. You know, women flip out about it. Oh, he got a new chick around my baby, blah, blah, blah. But they have no problem with I think you said in the interview it was a couple months. The baby was a couple months. You got another dude pushing him around like Joseph. He must have been Jesus. I don't know. But he
Man.
wasn't the father. And I think it's disrespectful. Give it some time. Shit, y'all might have rekindled. But something just as minuscule as that becomes huge. Because now I don't want to rekindle because of the disrespect. So they overlook that small little word because you want mama gotta have a life too, and mama need freedom and all that other cliche stuff that they like to say. But I think that's dead wrong. But I'm just the father of a child that I don't think I would like if that was done to me. Yeah, they could say he should have been a father and he should have been there, but maybe we're on the outs. Maybe it's one of those times where we just can't see eye to eye. That don't mean let another joker come in there and father my child, because that's what it feels like. Even though I know they're gonna argue with us about it's not dad and it ain't this, it's disrespectful. That's what the hell it is. But I digress because it wasn't my child.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that future situation has become a meme and it's been a catchy thing, but that's a mess. You know what I mean? Uh, the bright spot is having a decent dude around your son, as we perceive that Russell Wilson is.
It's all
Uh,
you can ever hope for.
it's yeah, right. And you just hate to see this relationship play out like that because even the media plays a part. Anytime
The
Russell
best
takes a picture with the son, it's all blasted over there. I'm pretty sure Future do stuff with his son, and you don't see those pictures anywhere.
her whole
So we've
story is that she
normalized it.
actually married. So, that gives them a feather in their cap of where she did the right thing. But I don't know. I still think that ain't right.
I just know we ain't never looked down on Zay mama for not having another dude around Zay. We ain't never looked
Fact.
down on him. We actually say that's a good thing. We've never looked bad on her for doing that. I'm just
But
saying.
And
that's a
that's
lost art now, though, Chris.
Future
Okay.
don't use condoms.
Just but we respect that shit though. 100%.
100%.
Yeah, well, that's to say, uh, he ain't fuck with condoms. Future don't use condoms. Yeah, what Fifty said,
I
ready to
think
die.
he's on record saying that, too.
Yeah, he ain't, bro. That's for suckers. Go out like a man. Hey, Chris Leo. Hey, man, that's the end of the
Man,
show, man. I'm getting out of
yeah.
here.
Hey, listen.
I've had a trying day.
It's okay. Listen, this week I will have a 14-year-old on Saturday, man. So y'all pray for me, man. Godly. Whole
Mm.
14 years old. I'm getting up there in age. I thought we were gonna get a chance to get on the last part of that segment that excuse me, interview question came in on, which was the arming and things like that. Because I actually think that that's what I'm gonna do, and that's the reason why I'm saying that. So I've been toying with the idea of taking my daughter to the gun range. She's already familiar. She knows that I carry, so she, I've let her hold, touch, work her way around it so that she doesn't do anything foolish if she ever, comes in contact with one of my firearms while I'm not there. But I do want to take the next step and get her familiar with pointing, aiming, getting comfortable with a gun in the event that she does need to protect herself or a grandmother or whatever the case may be, because I feel like they do it. And I'm at a place in life now where I'm not going to sit here and play victim to whatever's going on in society. I'm going to look at news, see what's going on with society, and teach my child how to deal in reality in real time of what's going on for her. And then that just better secures me, because then I know that not only do I have her back, but that she has something about herself, and even probably enter in a little self-defense class. But that's what I'm going to do. Like I said, y'all pray for me. She turns 14 on Saturday. Whew, Lord. I'll post. Y'all can, if y'all want to send her a donation later on, y'all can, whatever the case may be. You got a straight A student that's about to be a bigger teenager. Whatever. Pray for me.
Chris Leo, do you support gun training?
That's that. Yeah. First off, big shout out to Zaya. Happy pre-birthday. But I'm gonna let Zay lead the way on this one. But I'm gonna be inquisitive about it because I don't know. I'm up in the air. I'm up in the air about it. So out there, yeah. This is. I never thought of it. You know what I'm saying? But
Better, man.
I definitely want to. I definitely got questions. But to be honest with you, dog, I remember messing with a chick that was strapped, and I just had to stop messing with her. Like I didn't like you coming over my house and you putting the file on my
I love
table.
it.
I just didn't like it. I really didn't like that shit. And I
I
stopped
love it.
messing with her because you just come to my house, put the file on the table. I don't know, dog. Like I don't know what it is because it's almost like I feel like I'm try like, baby, I ain't gonna put my hands on you. Like, what you got the file out here for? But then again, I can't be promoting home dates and don't want women with fire. That don't make no damn sense at all. So that's crazy.
Yeah. Gotta go, bro.
Yeah, I think looking at the videos of other cultures training their kids, they training their kids like because of war coming. The only thing that
Mm-hmm.
I reserve on is like Chris said, I don't want to train my kid and knowing mentally or emotionally it turned him into a hothead. Because one of my fears coming up was one of my kids doing something and getting locked up and them being behind walls, in this racist society, and I can't do nothing for them, bro. That's one of my fears for a long time. Our
Educate.
kids get judged a little more harsh, even when they do defend themselves. So, my kids are grown now, but I want them to be trained, but it just seems like it's different laws for different people, and I would be heartbroken to hear about any of y'all kids in jail defending themselves just like
Well, you
anybody else.
well, you got to. As long as you got some money. You saw Keke when it did. That's the power of money. You get you some money. You a great. Let me tell you. I leave it at this. Ruben Napier, great pioneer on our street, taught us, and he told us a long time ago. I don't think you remember, but he said the easiest charge in the world to beat is my word against a dead man. That's what he told me. And he said I don't miss. So with that being said, you got to get up on your stuff. You got to be together, Chris. You want to have a woman that has your back because they see what you don't see. So God forbid you down bad and she see him coming and she packing too, and she's been going to the gun range with you. One thing I learned from an older guy that him and his wife, he taught her how to use every gun that he had. He said my wife is a better shooter than me. She shoot the bow and arrow better than me. She shoot the gun better than me. He taught her women always multiply what men give her. So hopefully, if I give my daughter this skill, she might be better than I am, and I won't be ashamed to say that. Like I said, man, you want to get them on beat. You don't want them in a vulnerable position. Like I said, as fathers, we're going to be first to bat, willing to die for them, but we got to have them to have some self-awareness about themselves and some defensive skills. You can't just always be dependent on the man for everything. And that's a part of the training that we got to do. So I think it's all about training and teaching. If you give them proper education on what to do and when to do it in situations, you'll be fine. They won't act
Zay,
out of turn. I feel.
You were a menace to me tonight, and
I love you, brother.
I do feel like I let you off easy tonight. Next week I'm gonna have some random. Zay,
I'm gonna write some jokes for you.
Zay, You ain't got to write a joke for me, of all people. Hey, random question. You ever had a breakup that made you cry?
I did, bro. Yeah, I did. All
In
BS aside,
adult
lied to me.
years. In
Nah,
adult
hell
years.
no. Nah. I've
Over
been stone
18.
cold since. I've been stone cold since.
Over 18. You never cried after a breakup?
Nah. I kind of expected them. I ain't gonna lie, boy. I'll be honest. Me and Mario were laughing about this today. I think old Keisha Andrews got me, man. You know what I'm saying? And listen, shout out to that chick, but she made this hard ice cold, bruh. And I ain't been able to do it. When a woman leave me now, I'd be like, you know what? I knew that was gonna happen.
Well, your
Damn.
biggest blessing is having fans like Mia. Where do you find people
Me
like
is
that?
not a fan. Me is a friend. See what I'm telling you about having your back, Chris?
Chris,
Shoot off the grassy nose, shoot, clip, clip.
Chris, Zay is done for the night. Can I have your thoughts, Chris? I'm done with him tonight. Listen,
Jeezy.
thank you, Mario. Caparoo. Chris
We talking
Leo.
about you, sombrero.
No, he ain't talking about me.
Hey
He's talking about
man,
perfect,
speaking of Jeezy, man, y'all need to check out the album.
phenomenal.
I don't know. I think that a lot of
It's
repetitive
relatable.
songs. I think the songs that had a subject matter on them, where he was talking about something like anything with a subject matter, it was some of the best music he didn't put out in a long time. But as far as like the party songs, or the trap songs, I didn't care for a lot of those. But anything that had a message, anything that had a theme of a song, the love songs on that motherfucker is hard as hell. The songs about his home betrayal is hard. Anything with a subject on that album was hard. But 26 tracks. Damn, what is it, like 30 tracks on there? That's a
29.
lot. That's a lot.
You got
Chris,
a lot to say.
wait a minute, Chris. That's what I said. Now let's go back to this. I do feel like he just aired out a lot of dirty laundry on that album because he
He
called out
did.
a lot of people, and I know they listening like, "Hey, boy, you just heard what Jesus said about this." So I don't know because he called out like 3 people in that whole album. I'm like, bro, you said some stuff, especially when we talking
Therapy
about
for
was
his
the blood
soul.
raw. Like, bro, like I don't know. You got to see me, Jesus. You just can't talk bad about me like that on the album.
Dog,
And
he
I
got what? I don't know which one because there's a lot of innuendos. I didn't see
blood raw.
no names, but boy,
Ain't no name.
if we talk about the same track, we talking about it about the nigga draws and shit,
Yeah.
boy,
Bro, you
that
gotta see
talk
me,
song
dog.
hard.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, any song like that got a meaning. If it's just a song that gets you hype or trap, we done heard that. But every song that got a theme to it, dog, that's some hard shit on his album. And it's mostly towards the end. But yeah, dog, and then for you to not have any featurees, I thought at this stage in the game, not depending on featurees, that's big. That's real big. 30 tracks, a lot for me. It took me like damn near 2 days to, really listen to it. But yeah, I support it.
Well,
You'll
listen,
like this. You'll like this, dude.
listen. I thought the album I thought it was his most complete work, maybe ever or in decades, right? Because all the other albums had tracks on it, but it was not like this here got a theme, like almost like Diddy might have produced it. But let's make sure, listen, you in MMG, Chris, Ross and Meat dropped the album Friday, and that was pretty decent as well. To me, it wasn't a thorough track to track like Jesus was, but Ross and Meat them have a nice album as well. Shout out to Maybach Music.
See, that's
I think
now. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say I think Jesus made that pain music. He learned from Rod Wave that if I
Yeah,
speak from my heart and do music, I'm gonna go platinum, gold, sell out stadiums, whatever the case, and he went with that. So when you produce your best work in that artistry field, I mean that's you and Chris Lane. But when you speaking from your heart and you speaking from pain or hurt, you give some of your best work, and I think it's a solid album.
but call me. You ain't got Chris. Ain't got to go on and put out some music and be like, bro, yeah, sit up in the kitchen table. You know what I mean? Like, bro, people like,
I don't
damn, you
know.
come
Wait,
out with it? Like, nah, bro, just call me, dog, and cuss me out like you usually
what's
do,
that
and we
now?
do straight. But don't put it on the album, and it just happened to go platinum. I'm just saying, Chris Leo. And you
See,
just put out a song this week, didn't you?
Yeah,
See me,
Did you put out a
Bringing you
song?
back.
huh?
Didn't you just put out a song this
Oh
week?
man, y'all gotta get ready for it, man. It's actually the last song I've ever recorded, and it's to remind me of my homeboy DJ Pusher. We were supposed to put out our final project, and that was supposed to be one of the lead songs on it. But it's by its being called Black Christmas. It only has a short time. So what I'm doing now, I did a snippet of the hook. Next Friday, I'm gonna do the extended hook, and then the following Friday do a verse to it, and then after drop it on the first, the full song on YouTube.
The Rebirth. My
First
God.
Jeezy, first Ross, me, Cash Chris is back.
I won't say back, but I this is for my homie DJ Pushers. Rest in peace, my brother.
Well, we'll take what we can get from Chris Lee.
Coming out of the duffel bag. I like it.
Yeah, so listen, we will see y'all next week, same bad channel. Hey, listen. Might be one of the finest on the track.
Got some cuts on there. The one we talk about is Mama.
We see y'all.